Hey guys, welcome back to Flashback. Today I thought I'd do a top 10 why Baldurs Gate. The entire series is absolutely awesome and a must play games. As you can see here, I'm set up, ready to go. Here's my top 10 reasons why this is cool.
Number 1. Pure D&D conversion.
Baldurs Gate was made in 1999 and 2001 for the second one. Both are equally awesome games. The second one is probably a little bit darker and deeper, as it already had a base to go on. The main thing about it is it actually converts the D&D 3 rule set so incredibly well. It does it almost flawlessly. No game has actually surpassed it even back when.
Number 2. Fine-tuned RPG elements.
From the get-go, you've got all the D&D classes to choose from, including all the stats that you have to mix and match with. You get your points that you want to put into extra charisma or strength or dexterity, whatever you want your character to be like. As the game progresses, you can keep on going in and see what new abilities your characters have learned. There's a huge skill tree for all of your characters, the non-playing characters and everything. Everyone's just got a huge range of abilities.
Number 3. Timeless graphic style.
So Baldur's Gate and Baldur's Gate 2 are isometric games, similar to that, the tactics games. So your Final Fantasy or Ogre, or on the PC you get your Laser Squad and UFO. Being from 1999, I'll make no excuses. This game still holds up and looks ace. Even though a company has come in and redone the whole game and made it all very 2014, it still looks ace. This game will stand the test of time, no problem. It's got a very rich D&D source to go from, so it's already got your ghouls and goblins as well as all the mighty heroes, and that really is portrayed the whole way through. Just the graphics are beautiful and you really feel like you are involved in this world.
Number 4. Original open world game.
Open world and sandbox games have been tried before this, and well, some of them to good effect, but for the most part a lot of them are kind of stuck with this linear storyline, even though they're trying to make a bigger world. The guys at Black Isle really understood open world, and that's where they excelled. With Baldur's Gate, they literally took this small D&D project that people are playing in their basement, and they did make you feel like you were in an entire universe. Seriously. Early on in Baldur's Gate 2, you can go and fight the dragon straight away if you like. Of course, you're gonna lose.
Number 5. Voice acting, music and sounds.
The voice acting, the music and the sounds. These are elements of any game that make the game memorable.
It shall be.
Baldur's Gate is no exception to that rule. In fact, probably more so. You'll often hear, if someone quotes Baldur's Gate, you'll often hear someone chanting Minsk or Jahara. That's all you'll think of. But the mood it sets as well, the fact it had kind of dynamic weather, it had storms and rain, but it affected the mood of the game. It got you involved, and ultimately it got the atmosphere correct.
Nature's servant awaits.
Number 6. Unique combat system.
Combat of any fighting game is always going to be viewed as how does it compare and relate to other games. The combat in Baldur's Gate is unique, and it's a kind of semi-turn-based, semi-real-time game, as turn-based as you want to make it. So you press the spacebar. In a heated confrontation, you'll find that you're pressing that spacebar like rapidly, just to try and see the stats, see what happened, who died, who's alive, who's drank their potions, who's casting a spell. You need to keep an eye on what's going on. But in the more the easier combats, you might just want to breeze through it. That is a really innovative and brilliant way to just fly through these combats without hesitation. Not to mention that because it was based on D&D 3, it just had a very good fixed way of playing. It had a rule set. It was using the D20. It was using weapon characteristics. They weren't trying to reinvent the wheel, but they did certainly implement that wheel to maximum effect.
Cool! Blue point. Aye,
What is my task?
Oh, that's
Number 7. Strong storylines, brilliant writing.
The storylines in Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, wow. That's what keeps you coming back. That's what you just keep on wondering. If I'd chosen differently, would it have happened differently?
You live yet. You have less than a fraction of your soul, and yet somehow you continue to oppose me?
I'm not saying that it's never been written better. When you look at modern TV, films, or successful games, they all have one thing in common: very strong characters. Baldur's Gate really pushed this. The guys writing the stories knew how to make these guys connect, how you'd like them, why you'd like them. They develop relationships with each other. This was a really important step, and you could really see the bridge between film and games just getting that much less. This game really did nail it.
Number 8. Team interaction.
The team interaction is probably what makes the replayability of the game the best. The fact that you could be playing at one team and something happens that you didn't expect. The dwarf player leaves your team because he wasn't happy that you weren't going for the gold, or the paladin doesn't like your necromancer in the team, so he decides to have a fight with them. Or in Baldur's Gate 2 actually does it a lot better, because it really pushes the boundaries with the hatred between the party members. As well as that, if you're all bad guys in your team and you are trying to play good, your party members become disgruntled with you, your leadership, and they're not very happy to fight for you. So a lot of the times you had to keep your party members in check. This was a very, very original thought to the game, and it was implemented really, really well. It's a shame that Baldur's Gate 3 isn't out already, because I'm sure it'd be done even better.
Yes, excellent. There's only one more that needs to be destroyed. Already I can see this cage beginning to fade.
Number 9. Difficulty.
The difficulty of Baldur's Gate is brilliant. It just feels like it follows you around without actually purposefully leveling up the bad guys, if you know what I mean. So, for instance, you'll get into a scrap with 5 adventurers, but it'll always feel like these guys could be pretty tough. So you'll always be geared up to fight them. A lot of the times when you're going on a quest, you'll have to fight several little minions, kobolds or whatever, and by the time you get to the end, when you've kind of exhausted yourself a little bit, then you have to fight the end boss, and you're just going to unload onto that guy. And when you kill him, you just it's very rewarding to feel like you've beaten someone that's slightly tough. The difficulty overall, there's a lot of parts where you feel like you can go into areas that there's no way you have a chance with, and that's what makes it a good RPG system in general.
Number 10. Easter eggs.
So the guys actually were pretty clever the way they wrote the whole game. They decided that it wasn't just going to be a linear point and click and, just kill people, whatever. There's several little Easter eggs in it. If you go looking for them, actually Google it and just go see what people have found. It's absolutely brilliant. You can build yourself a RoboCop suit of armor if you bring across items from Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. There's all the members of the Walking Dead who are actually dead and they get raised as zombies in one part. Or you can go up and in Baldur's Gate 1 you got Nuber, who's a very annoying character. You can go up and kill him in Baldur's Gate 2. You write his name down, the angels want to kill him. It's just great, like just having that depth and complexity. That forethought to think we need to actually make this game brilliant.
I thought you alone saw past my half-orc blood, Krill. Now I see you are just like the others. Perhaps Senjak was too handsome for you to ignore, that I've taken care of that.
And there you are. That's my thoughts on Baldur's Gate 2. It is my favourite game of all time. What's yours? Thanks.
You must gather your party before venturing forth.